Hi everyone, welcome back to the second episode of brush customization on Ibispaint X. In the first episode, we have covered the basic and the fed options, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the shape option. It is one of the most important brush customizations, so please notice everything carefully. If you haven't checked the episode 1, you can find it on the card above and in the description. Now let's get into today's topic. So under the shape option, the first thing we can see is the brush pattern. Let's see what happens if we click on it. So there's a drop-down menu where we can see almost every other brush shape or pattern available on the app. So that means we can give it any other shape as we wish. As I said in the previous video, that reality can be anything I want. Now let's choose the net brush. It gives you oil brush like strokes. So that's pretty interesting. You can even choose the cloud pattern and create soft clouds out of pen fed brush. Let me show you some more examples. My favorite one has to be the calligraphy brush shape. It looks so dreamy and so pretty. The next parameter is spacing. If we increase the space of the shape, we can see the brush strokes as individual circles. The light violet color is not that visible, so I'm changing it into a bright red color. Now, isn't that pretty? Next, if we increase the pattern opacity, the softness of the brush decreases as it's more visible on the sides. I will be honest with you guys, I'm not really sure what changes it makes if we turn on the opacity saturation and decrease opacity options. I was hoping for some changes in saturation or opacity of the brush, but I could not find any differences. So if I can find their utility in the future, I will update the data. Now we're going to move on to another important segment. That is the angle and the aspect of the brush. The initial angle and aspect, these both options are kind of correlated. The default aspect is 0, and if we increase it, we can see the brush gradually becoming flatter. As you can see, it turned into flat lines because I have increased it 100%. Now, what if we change the initial angle as well? Notice that the brush is rotating as we change the angle. Now let's check out how the brush strokes look like. I'm sure you can see whenever I'm drawing a curvy line, there's a difference of thickness because of the angle change. Whereas there's no angle change while drawing a straight line, so it is equally thick from start to end. So this is how it looks like when we change the aspect and the initial angles. Then what happens if we turn on the following rotation button? Now the thickness is same even if we rotate the direction of our brush. Next up, we have this button named Anti-Aliasing. Before going into that, we need to know what is aliasing and anti-aliasing. To put it simply, when you zoom in an image, you can see the edges are pixelated, especially if the quality is low. This pixelation or distortion at the edge is caused by aliasing. So what is this anti-aliasing option? If the anti-aliasing option is turned on, the edges does not look distorted anymore. It has the feature to make it look softer and blended. So here this anti-aliasing option works the same way. If we turn it off, the line looks pixelated and distorted whenever we are painting, especially a curvy line. If you want to create a pixel art, turning it off would be helpful. But personally, I like to keep it on because of course I don't want my art to look pixelated. Now I'm going to give you two examples from two brushes. First, let's see what happens with pen fade. You can see the distortion has taken place whenever I'm trying to draw a curved line. Now let's check out the ink pen. This is the normal stroke. And this is when I turn off the anti-aliasing. You can see the pixelation has taken place at the edges even if I'm not drawing a curvy line. So just from drawing a straight line, we can see the pixelation or distortion. Finally, we have reached the advanced section. If I increase the dot, then the brush looks like a combination of closely attached circles. If I turn on the Add Opacity button, then we cannot see the circles separately anymore. It becomes a single line with little bumps. So what if we turn off the constant opacity? Then it becomes super faded. About the rest of the options in advanced section, I didn't really find anything interesting or important. The ones I explained earlier should be enough to know the basics of the shape customization. So here ends the second episode of Brush Customization series. I hope everything was clearly understandable. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with the next episode very soon. Till then, take care.